Mencius, also known as Mingzi, is one of the most influential Confucian philosophers after Confucius himself. His dialogues and discourses greatly expanded and elaborated on the foundational ideas presented by Confucius. Here's a review of his philosophical work and 10 main ideas that are central to his teachings. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started. 1. Inherent goodness of human nature. Mencius stands out in the annals of philosophical thought for his unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of human nature. Building upon Confucian principles, he ardently asserted that every human, by birth, is endowed with an innate propensity towards virtuous behavior and moral discernment. For Mencius, this was not a mere philosophical postulate but a deeply held conviction about the essence of humanity. He contended that the basic tendencies of compassion, kindness, and empathy are natural to humans, even if they sometimes get obscured by external factors or adverse environments. The potential for goodness, according to him, isn't something that's instilled or taught, but is a fundamental component of our very being. This perspective offered a hopeful and positive view of humanity, suggesting that with the right guidance and environment, individuals can effortlessly align with their virtuous nature. 2. For beginnings. Delving deeper into the intricacies of human nature, Mencius introduced the concept of the four beginnings. These are inherent moral inclinations that, if properly cultivated, evolve into mature virtues that guide human behavior. Firstly, the natural feeling of compassion, when fostered, blossoms into the virtue of benevolence, pushing one to act kindly and generously. Secondly, the initial sense of shame, which keeps us from wrongdoing, can mature into righteousness, directing our actions towards what is just. Thirdly, the innate sentiment of respect and deference, when refined, becomes propriety, ensuring we conduct ourselves with grace and decorum. Lastly, the fundamental ability to discern right from wrong, with adequate nurturing, can give rise to wisdom, enabling us to make judicious decisions. For Mencius, recognizing and nourishing these tendencies was pivotal for individual and societal moral development. 3. Role of environment. Mencius, while championing the notion of humanity's inherent virtue, equally emphasized the significance of environment in shaping an individual's character and morality. He maintained that the environment, comprising of one's upbringing, societal influences, and experiences, plays a pivotal role in either nurturing or undermining one's innate goodness. If an individual displayed behaviors that deviated from virtue, Mencius contended that it wasn't a flaw in their intrinsic nature but rather an outcome of negative external factors or inadequate nurturing. This perspective shifts the focus from blaming inherent characteristics to understanding and rectifying the environmental factors that hinder the flourishing of an individual's moral potential. Thus, for Mencius, creating a positive, enriching environment was paramount for allowing the intrinsic goodness of humans to manifest fully. 4. Benevolent leadership. Central to Mencius's political philosophy was his staunch advocacy for benevolent leadership. He asserted that true leadership is characterized by a genuine concern for the well-being and prosperity of the people. According to Mencius, a ruler's legitimacy and authority derive from their commitment to the welfare of their subjects. This is intertwined with the Confucian concept of the mandate of heaven, which posits that rulers are chosen by a divine force based on their virtue and capability to govern righteously. Should they deviate from this path and neglect their subjects' well-being, they risk losing this mandate, which, in essence, is the divine approval to rule. Mencius's emphasis on benevolent leadership was not just a moral directive but also a pragmatic one. He believed that a ruler who aligns with benevolence ensures harmony, stability, and the enduring loyalty of the people. 5. Mandate of heaven. Expanding on the foundational Confucian principle, Mencius delved deeper into the concept of the mandate of heaven. For him, this was not merely a passive endorsement but an active divine validation reflecting the moral fiber of leadership. Mencius argued that the universe, or a higher force, recognizes and empowers rulers who govern with righteousness, justice, and a genuine regard for their people. Conversely, rulers who are unjust, oppressive, or neglectful of their subjects' welfare, over time, face the risk of losing this divine sanction. This loss signifies not just a spiritual consequence, but also tangible repercussions, social unrest, rebellion, or other calamities that could lead to a ruler's dethroning. In essence, the mandate of heaven serves as a cosmic checks and balances system, rewarding virtuous leadership and penalizing tyranny, thereby ensuring the harmonious and just order of society. 6. Education. Anchoring his philosophy in the transformative potential of learning, Mencius fervently championed the integral role of education in fostering moral development. He saw education as more than just an acquisition of knowledge. To him, it was the key to unlocking and nurturing one's innate virtues. Drawing parallels with nature, Mencius believed that just as a plant needs proper care and the right conditions to grow, the inherent goodness within individuals requires the nurturing touch of education to flourish. This emphasis on cultivation suggests that virtue isn't merely a product of nature, but also of consistent guidance and refinement through learning. Mencius's perspective democratized moral achievement, underscoring that regardless of one's social or economic status, with the right educational opportunities and dedication, anyone can elevate themselves to embody the highest standards of virtue and morality. 7. Heart-mind. Diving into the deeper realms of cognition and emotion, Mencius introduced the concept of heart-mind or Xian as the nexus of moral discernment. He proposed that this heart-mind isn't just a cerebral function, but also a reservoir of innate emotions and intuitions that guide moral judgments. Mencius believed that by attuning oneself to their heart-mind, individuals could tap into an intuitive understanding of what is right and virtuous. This intrinsic compass serves as a beacon, illuminating the path of righteousness. Rather than relying solely on external teachings or dogmas, Mencius emphasized the importance of introspection and listening to one's own heart-mind to decipher moral truths. By doing so, one can navigate life's complexities with a clarity born from the harmonious integration of thought and feeling, ensuring a life aligned with virtue. 8. Importance of ritual. Mencius, building upon Confucian tenets, held rituals in high regard, viewing them as more than mere ceremonial acts. To him, rituals were the fabric that wove society together, creating a tapestry of order, respect, and shared values. These structured practices provided a framework for individuals to express reverence, establish hierarchies, and recognize important life events. By engaging in rituals, individuals undergo a process of self-refinement, learning to temper their desires and act in a manner befitting societal norms. Moreover, rituals foster a sense of community and belonging, ensuring that members of society are connected through shared practices and traditions. For Mencius, this harmonious interplay between individual character development and societal cohesion through rituals was pivotal. It ensured not just the moral elevation of individuals, but also the seamless functioning and unity of the broader community. 9. Critic of Relativism. Standing firmly against the tides of relativistic thought, Mencius defended the existence of universal moral principles. He refuted the notion that ethical standards are malleable, shifting based on cultural or individual perspectives. Instead, he asserted that certain moral truths are intrinsic, transcending cultural, temporal, or situational boundaries. In a world where moral perspectives could easily be influenced by prevailing customs or societal norms, Mencius was a beacon of constancy. He contended that anchoring oneself to shifting moral sands led to societal discord and individual moral decay. By championing the idea of absolute moral truths, Mencius sought to establish a foundation upon which ethics and righteousness could firmly stand, unswayed by the capricious winds of cultural variance or individual interpretation. 10. Active engagement in society. Mencius posited that true virtue is not just an internal characteristic but is realized and refined through active participation in the broader community. He contended that while introspection and personal cultivation are crucial, they reach their zenith when exercised in the crucible of societal interactions. By actively engaging with others, individuals confront myriad challenges, dilemmas, and opportunities that test and hone their moral fiber. To Mencius, seclusion was akin to a flower never exposed to sunlight. Though it may possess inherent beauty, it cannot fully bloom in isolation. He underscored the symbiotic relationship between personal virtue and societal contribution, emphasizing that individuals not only derive moral growth from society but also play a vital role in its ethical evolution. Through this active engagement, Mencius believed that individuals could both cultivate their inner virtues and contribute meaningfully to the collective good. Mencius' work serves as a rich continuation of Confucian thought, adding depth and nuance to many of its core principles. His emphasis on the inherent goodness of humans, the importance of a nurturing environment, and the role of benevolent leadership have made lasting impacts on East Asian philosophy and beyond.